down. Like the sun, no, you know I'm on my way down.
Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away these food freezer baby trays. This is going to help you get started making your own baby food. So all you have to do is like my video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you comment. Hey guys! Thanks for tuning in and subscribing to our channel. It's Brittany here and Gray Gray. Today on our channel we're going to be making baby food. Alright, I'm going to show you step by step what to do. We're going to make sweet potatoes. We decided to do sweet potatoes just because we want to start with a vegetable for the baby for its first food. We don't want it to be too sweet, but we still want all the nutrients of a vegetable. So let's get started. I decided to use organic food because it has less pesticides in it. You can use just regular fresh fruits and vegetables, but I prefer to use organic. Alright, so we have about 3 pounds of sweet potatoes. You can get this from your local Aldi's or Walmart. Sometimes Walmart has no organic food. You're gonna need a blender. I washed them off really well with this cleaner here. You can scrub it, or you can also use a fork if your work shoes as well. You're gonna need a potato peeler, a knife, a spoon, a steamer that you can buy at Walmart. It's probably about $10, or you can get it off of Amazon. This is to steam the food. We steam our food just because it holds in more nutrients. You can boil it, but it takes away some of the nutrients. Or you can also bake it. Bake it keeps a lot of the nutrients also. And then, my finger's stuck. And then you're gonna need a pan to boil it, the water in to put the steamer on top. These are little dishes you can get on Amazon also. You pour the baby food in there and then you freeze it. And then this is another one, it's kind of like an ice tray. This is made specifically for baby food, but you can use just your normal ice tray also. And finally, these little containers here, these are great for storing baby food. You can put this in the freezer, you can put this in the refrigerator. They're glass, so you want to, if you do heat up the baby food, I do it in a bottle warmer. And I just take it out, or I can put it over the stove. But these are the best for storing, and these are the measurements on it. You can see the measurements is about 2 ounces in there, and it's by We Sprout. I did get this from Amazon also. They're really good. And they let you write on the top. It comes with a pen, but I lost it. Alright, so we wash these off really well. We use the scrubber also, and now I'm just pulling the potatoes here. I decided to do sweet potatoes as his first food. This is not the first time he tried sweet potatoes, but I started off giving him baby food that I made about 6 months. We decided to use sweet potatoes first because it has all the nutrients in it, and then it has a little bit of a sweet taste. So it's not as sweet as a fruit, but it's still a vegetable. It's a lot cheaper to actually make your own baby food, even if it is organic. Organic is sometimes more expensive than the regular fruits and vegetables, but you can catch them on sale, like I said, at Walmart. Overall, it's just cheaper and it's still convenient. So we already have our sweet potatoes washed off, scraped, and now peeled, and now we're gonna cut them. When you're cutting sweet potatoes, if you've never cut sweet potatoes before, they are extremely hard to cut, so make sure you have a really good knife when you're doing that. It really is no technique to cutting the sweet potatoes. You want to make sure you just get them kind of thin, not too thin, but at least like that, so when you're steaming them, they won't take so long. The thicker they are, the longer it's going to take to steam. To steam it, it really just depends on how thick you cut it, on how long it's going to take. I'd say it takes about 15 minutes. Apples take a little less because they're a little softer, but they're pretty hard, so it's going to take a bit. Alright, so we have our sweet potatoes cut. You can rinse them off again. Sometimes I rinse them off again just because it's just a pet peeve of mine. But throw them in there. You don't want to fill them up too much. The sweet potatoes really take the longest because they're so thick. Every other fruit and vegetable that I've done hasn't taken as long, but these definitely take the longest. Alright, you can get a bigger saucepan. You want to make sure it's a little bit wider. It will help. So we have the water boiling already here. We have the potatoes in our steamer. Just going to place it on top like so. And then make sure you do use the top because that's what's going to help it steam. So So you're just gonna check it frequently, just moving the potatoes around, and then we're gonna let that sit and cook for a little bit. All right, so we have our sweet potatoes all steamed. So this is what they look like. If you haven't cooked them before, you can just kind of poke them with a knife or a fork to see if they're finished. Like I said, when you're cooking, you want to make sure you move them around so they cook evenly. This is very hot, so just be careful of that. So we have our blender. Like I said, you can buy one of those fancy baby blenders. I heard those work really well, but I just wanted to use household items that I already have. I didn't want to spend any extra money if I didn't need to. So we're gonna take the sweet potatoes, just put them in there. It just depends on your blender on how much you can use at a time. I think I'm gonna do about halfway. All right, and then I'm gonna add some water here. I have some purified water. You can either add purified water or you could add breast milk. It's up to you, but just a little bit of water. There's really no measurement on how much water. It's just depending on how well the blender blends it up. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more water. I put about 4 ounces of water in there. I think 4 ounces of water is good. All right, so we're gonna put the top on. You're gonna put on, I'll put it on liquefy. So we're gonna start it. I'm gonna open it up a little bit and just mix it up. Push blend again. All right, so the consistency just kind of depends on how well you want it. Sweet potatoes are pretty thick, so you can add more water if you want to. My son, he's been eating for a while, so I think I'm gonna keep it this thick, but you can make it thinner, like I said. All right, so you have to do this kind of in segments. As you see, I still have a lot of food in here. I'm gonna need a spoon to scoop this out, and it's pretty hot, like I said. So it is easier to do it when it's more of a waterier consistency. And sometimes it is okay to have chunks in it, but for the baby's first baby food, you don't want to have any chunks at all. You want it to be kind of more liquefied than this. Continue to add water to it, just a little bit at a time. When I'm making my fruit, you really don't want to add water to the fruit just because the fruit already has a lot of water in it. So every time like I make apples, you don't have to add any type of water to it. I did add water to it before and it made it too watery. It's almost like apple juice. So that's why I say I wouldn't add water. All right, and then this one has a top just like that, and you just slide it straight across. If you're just using plain ice trays, make sure you do use saran wrap because you want to seal it. So you want to wrap it probably like 3 or 4 times, make sure it's sealed on all sides. Then you just stick it in there with just a regular ice tray. I do use these when I want him to eat food the next day. The food can last up to 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. When you're starting out giving your baby food, you probably just want to give them 1 ounce at a time. You don't want to give them 2 ounces. It might be too much for their stomach to digest because they're just cutting off breast milk or formula or whatever supplementation you're giving them for milk. All right, and then the final thing that we do use too is these. This was actually the smaller ones. You can get them bigger. I use the bigger ones now because he eats a lot more food. But I was using the smaller ones for this. All right, so I made this one a little bit more liquefied consistency. This is more that you want to give your child when you're first starting to give them food. See how liquidy it is, and it's a little bit smoother too, so it's easier for them to swallow and digest. Oh, and one thing I did forget to mention, you want to buy some quart-size freezer Ziploc bags. So when they're all done freezing, you can put them in there to have them. We're gonna freeze them overnight. These you can put in the refrigerator like I said, and you can just have these ready for the next day. Okay, I am doing also some frozen peas. These are organic frozen peas. I like to use the frozen peas, it's a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna steam these also. And then I'm gonna do some organic apples. All right, so I'm cooking the peas right now, and I'm cutting these apples up here. It is much faster to boil the food, and you can get a lot more done in a shorter period of time, but like I said, I want to steam them because you hold more of the nutrients and the flavor in them. I'm trying to save as much time as possible, so I'm doing the peas right now, and I'm cutting the apples. I might mix the apples with the bananas to make apple banana flavor, and then I might just keep just the original apples. I cooked the peas for about 5 or 6 minutes. You don't want to overcook any food. The apples, they probably cook for 7 minutes. You just have to touch them with a fork and see the softness of them. They don't take that long. And then, like I say, you just pop them in the blender. You don't want to add any extra water or breast milk to the apples because they already have its own juice to make it more of a puree. All right, so we have our apples here. You want to make sure you're just stirring them up, making them cook evenly. And then the peas, kind of rigged me up something here. I just actually took a pan with holes in it and then just did the pot. And you want to make sure you're keeping enough water in the pot in the bottom so your food won't burn. All right, so now we're gonna blend the apples, and I'm gonna add some bananas actually. So a couple of the apple mixtures, and then throw in some apples. And before you put it in the freezer, let it cool off because it is gonna be pretty hot. All right, guys, so it's been overnight. Now we're gonna store the food. I'm using freezer storage bags, and then you want to make sure you get a permanent marker to label them. These last up to 3 months in the freezer. So I'm just labeling them. Sweet potatoes. Don't forget to put the date on there. That's the most important thing. So this is what they end up looking like. And these are really simple. They just pop out like so. And they look like this. My son now probably eats about 2 of these in one setting. You just pop them in the bag here. Then these are the larger ones. He probably eats 1 of these a setting. So these are pretty large. I'll say it's about 2 ounces. You can put them in different bags by size. But since I already know the amount that he eats, I just throw them all in line. And you can also, you don't have to get quart size, you can get gallon size. It just depends on how much food you make. Now I've taken them out of the containers, put them in storage bags. I labeled them with the date that I made them, not the date that I bagged them. I usually make a lot more vegetables than this, but this time go around I didn't make as many vegetables just because I still had some left over from the previous batch. When I give my son food, I like to do the vegetables separately just so I can mix and match them, just give them different variety and things like that, but you can also combine them. So yeah, this is the finished product. If you guys will leave any comments or have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, won't we, Gray? All right, guys, I hope you guys learned a lot. Please stay tuned to my next video. I'll be teaching you guys how to warm these products. Bye. I got Gray here with me. And this is our food consistency. All right, sweet potatoes. Let's see if it's too hot. Mmm, yum, yum.
Lay down, let the sun know you know I'm already down.